I'm Chef Joel Gargano, and I've been cooking in New England kitchens for the past 12 years. I like to cook product-driven cuisine, which means I let the seasons inspire me. So today, we're going to take a visit to Starlight Gardens and see what's ready for harvest. And then we'll come back here, I'll create something, and I'll even show you how to make it. So, let's go get inspired. All right, so here we're at Starlight Gardens. I'm with my friend David Zemelski. Gave us a nice, beautiful tour of the grounds here. And what really caught my eye was this arugula. David, what makes this arugula so special?
Well, let's start with how beautiful it is, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a gorgeous look to it, and also it tastes really great too. Let me get a piece here for you.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks great. It tastes great too. David and I were taking a walk around and we came across this kale. This kale looks really cool. David, what's so special about this kale?
We're looking at Roja kale. It is, besides being visually gorgeous, I mean, look at this magenta
Yeah,
vein
it's beautiful.
on it. Yep. It's also easy to make a good dish out of it just by lightly braising it, put some garlic in at the end. But my favorite is a salad, where you don't cook it at all. You just slice it up, put some lemon on it, and you're ready to go.
That sounds delicious. I think I'll try that today.
All right.
All right, so we just got back from the farm, back in the kitchen, and I'm gonna create a dish with some of the things we picked up from Starlight Gardens. So we picked up some of this arugula, some of the baby turnips we pulled, and some of this fantastic kale. So I think the dish I'm gonna make is a soft egg with pancetta, ricotta cheese, and we're gonna dress some of these turnips in a delicious lemon vinaigrette. So the first thing we wanna do is put together the ricotta cheese, and we're gonna make this from scratch, okay? When making ricotta cheese, you should put some thought into what type of milk you're using. So I prefer a little bit higher fat content, so I use whole milk plus a little bit of cream. For this particular dish, it's really gonna balance out because I have a pretty acidic dressing going with it. If you wanna make a low-fat ricotta, by all means use skim milk, but your curds are gonna be a little bit more tough. All right, so while this milk and cream is coming to a simmer, we're gonna soft boil the eggs. The eggs I'm using today are from this particular variety of hen called an Araucana. And they just happen to lay these blue eggs, and they're absolutely beautiful, and they taste great. So what I have going on here is some boiling water. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set a timer. We're only gonna cook these for 4 minutes. So I'm gonna put them in the water now. All right, our eggs are done. In 4 minutes, I'm gonna pull these out. I'm gonna set these into an ice bath. And this will just stop the cooking so they don't overcook. And when you soft boil an egg, the white should be firm and the yolk should be runny, okay? And we're gonna reheat these later for our salad so they're not cold. Okay, so while the eggs are cooling, we're gonna start to render out our pancetta. So what I have here is pancetta that we made right here in our kitchen. And it's pretty simple to make. So we coated this in salt, some spices, and we pretty much just let it sit in the refrigerator for about a month. And after a month, it loses a lot of its moisture and becomes firm, and also gains a lot of flavor through fermentation. So we're gonna use some of this. I'm gonna pull it off the hook here. So first I'm gonna cut these big slabs off. I'm gonna cut these slabs into strips. And I'm gonna cut all these strips into cubes. All right, I'm just gonna put these cubes right into the pan. We're gonna add just a touch of olive oil to this, just to help the rendering process. So whenever you're rendering bacon or pancetta, you want to do it over a low heat because you don't want to scorch the pancetta. All right, so pancetta looks like it's ready. just gonna strain off some of this excess grease. So all this extra fat that came out of the pancetta, we're gonna use this. So we're not gonna throw this out, we'll save it. All right, so let's talk about this ricotta cheese. So our milk has come to a simmer, and we're gonna squeeze in some lemon juice. About 1 lemon. We're gonna add some salt. Give it a quick stir. Now we're gonna wait a little bit. All right, the ricotta cheese looks ready. It's been about 5 minutes. The curds have formed. So the next step is to take this and put it over an ice bath. What we're doing now is we're gonna chill the milk before we strain it. And when we strain it, we're gonna get rid of some of the liquid, and what we're left with behind is the curds, and that's gonna be our cheese. So what I have here is a bowl set up with some cheesecloth over a strainer. So to go along with all this, we're gonna make a lemon vinaigrette, and we're gonna dress our greens and our turnips and our kale with it. So to start, we're gonna squeeze some lemon juice into a bowl. We're gonna add honey, some white soy sauce, and you can get this at specialty markets, a pinch of salt, and some extra virgin olive oil. This is a really simple lemon vinaigrette to put together. Just gonna whisk it in. And for whatever amount of lemon juice you had, add about the same amount in volume of the olive oil. I'm gonna grab this slate here. This looks really nice. So what I'm going to do is actually going to add some herbs to our fresh ricotta we just made. See how it's sort of thickened now? So I'm going to add some fresh tarragon. Just going to pluck it off of the stem. And tarragon sort of has a fennel-y flavor to it, so it's really going to brighten this up. Just going to get a rough chop on this. Okay, into the ricotta it goes. Now, it already has salt in here, so I'm not going to add any more salt, but I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil. All right, for our kale and lovely turnips here, we're going to treat these as simple as possible, okay? So, those fresh turnips that we picked this morning, I'm going to leave them whole. I'm going to put them right into the bowl. 3 of them looks good. I'm going to take some of this kale that we picked earlier too. I'm going to julienne it. Now that lemon vinaigrette we made, let's give that a quick stir. We're going to season this with salt. Just a pinch. I'm going to toss these. All right, very, very lightly dressed. Beautiful turnips. So if I dress this arugula with any lemon juice or anything, or any of that vinaigrette, it's going to wilt it too quick. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Some of this pancetta. Well, it's still warm, it's good. And now we're going to add our soft egg. So remember that pancetta fat we saved earlier? I'm just going to gently rewarm these eggs. So I'm going to take it out of the shell. Just crack it all the way around. So I'm just going to gently baste these eggs. And again, I don't want to cook them all the way through. I want them to remain soft on the inside. Take them, drain them on a paper towel. gonna take some of this extra vinaigrette we have, dress the top of those eggs, give them a little bit of acid. And last, our ricotta cheese that we made. All right, so there it is. Soft-boiled egg with pancetta, ricotta, and turnips. When we're talking about product-driven cuisine, you know what that really means to me is that I'm letting the food of the seasons inspire me. And I like to really put that out on the plate. So by having a black background and then have these bright green vegetables, the vegetables stand out, not so much the fancy plate. And that's really what I'm trying to get across in this dish is how fresh everything looks. So by going out to the farm and helping the farmer pick some of it and taking it back to my kitchen to cook, just really more solidifies on why I do what I do.